Hebrews. This is our Prophets of Awakening. Uh, this is our Wednesday night session. This Ask Brother Leonard Q&A session. 24th of November, 2021. I'm asking everybody to like, share, subscribe to our Prophets of Awakening channel. Hit the notification button if you can. This is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh is the Old Testament, and the Torah is 35 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses on Mount Sinai by the Lord of hosts. So shalom and welcome everybody. We're going to go into our moment of silence, prayer, and our psalm and more current events. O Lord, we pray unto the Lord our God. We make our confessions, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping covenant and mercy to them that love thee and to them that keep thy commandments. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us a confusion of face, as it is this day, to the men of Judah and unto the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven us, because of our trespass, that we have trespassed against thee. As it is written in the laws of Moses, all this evil has come upon us in the land of our captivity, here in the Americas, in the Caribbean, in Great Britain, and Africa. O Lord, according to all thy righteousness, we beseech thee, let thy anger and thy fury be turned away from thy city Jerusalem and thy people and thy holy mountain. O Lord, hear this prayer and cause thy face to shine upon thy sanctuary and thy people for your sake. O Lord, open thine eyes and incline thine ears to hear and behold our condition. O Lord, hear. O Lord, forgive. O Lord, hearken and do, and defer not, for thy own sake. O my Lord, for thy people and your land need you desperately at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay. Gonna read a song. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read Psalm 52. And it's caution to the prideful wicked. Okay, it says, Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continuously. The tongue deviseth mischiefs like the sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speaking righteousness. Selah, thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shows likewise, God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah, the righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good for thy saints. So that's Psalm 52. Caution to the prideful wicked. Any comments on that? Okay, notice that in verse 8 it says, the righteous man says, but I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. And then 9, and I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good for the saints. Okay. All right. Anybody have any current events they want to bring up? Okay, let me play this right here. Got to do with the verdict in the Ahmaud Arbery trial.
In the Ahmaud Arbery case. I'm going to go ahead and roll the report, and I will be right back.
All three white men charged in the death of Ahmaud Arbery were convicted of murder Wednesday in the fatal shooting that became part of a larger national reckoning on racial injustice. The convictions for Greg McMichael, son Travis McMichael, and neighbor William Roddy Bryan came after jurors deliberated for about 10 hours. The men face minimum sentences of life in prison. It is up to the judge to decide whether that comes with or without the possibility of parole. Travis McMichael stood for the verdict, his lawyer's arm around his shoulder. At one point, McMichael lowered his head to his chest. After the verdicts were read, as he stood to leave, he mouthed "love you" to his mother, who was in the courtroom. Moments after the verdicts were announced, Arbery's father, Marcus Arbery Sr., was seen crying and hugging supporters outside the courtroom. He didn't do nothing, the father said, but run and dream. The McMichaels grabbed guns and jumped in a pickup truck to pursue the 25-year-old black man after seeing him running in their neighborhood outside the Georgia port city of Brunswick in February 2020. Bryan joined the pursuit in his own pickup and recorded cell phone video of Travis McMichael fatally shooting Arbery. Arbery's killing after the graphic video leaked online 2 months later. Though prosecutors did not argue that racism motivated the killing, federal authorities have charged them with hate crimes, alleging that they chased and killed Arbery because he was black. That case is scheduled to go to trial in February. The jury sent a note to Superior Court Judge Timothy Walmsley soon after returning to court Wednesday morning asking to view 2 versions of the shooting video, the original and one that investigators enhanced to reduce shadows 3 times apiece. Jurors returned to the courtroom to see the videos and listen again the 911 call one of the defendants made from the bed of a pickup truck about 30 seconds before the shooting. The disproportionately white jury received the case around midday Tuesday and spent about 6 hours deliberating before adjourning without a verdict. The McMichaels told police they suspected Arbery was a fleeing burglar when they armed themselves and jumped in a pickup truck to chase him. Bryan joined the pursuit when they passed his house and recorded cell phone video of Travis McMichael blasting Arbery at close range with a shotgun as Arbery threw punches and grabbed for the weapon. On the 911 call the jury reviewed, Greg McMichael tells an operator, "I'm out here in Satilla Shores. There's a black male running down the street." He then starts shouting, apparently as Arbery is running toward the McMichaels' idling truck with Bryan's truck coming up behind him. "Stop right there. Damn it, stop. Travis." Gunshots can be heard a few seconds later. The graphic video death leaked online 2 months later, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation took over the case, quickly arresting the 3 men. Each of them is charged with murder and other crimes. Defense attorneys contend the McMichaels were attempting a legal citizen's arrest when they set off after Arbery, seeking to detain and question him as a suspected burglar after he was seen running from a nearby home under construction.
Okay, so.
Okay. Anybody got any comments on that? What they think about it?
Well, it's still not righteous judgment in the case because they're doing the hate crime trial separate from the murder trial. Why not do it all at once? I mean, why separate the murder trial from the hate crime trial?
Right.
So it's still not righteous judgment to me, even though they was found guilty of the murders.
Right. Yeah, they got some kind of twist to it. That's how they did the same thing with OJ. Got 2 different trials. Got him in one of them. Yeah. Can you see that right there on screen?
No.
Okay, you can't see nothing? Okay. You see that?
Yes.
Greg Abbott sent 10,000 state troopers and National Guard units to the U.S.-Mexico border. His office told Border Report on Monday, November 22nd, 2021. This order comes as roughly 3,000 migrants make their way through Mexico with the intention of reaching the United States. No, you ain't. Not if Greg Abbott has anything to do with it, because 10,000 state troopers and National Guardsmen against 3,000? Ha! Yeah, turn around, buddy. Time to go back. The forces deployed by Abbott are part of Operation Lone Star, an effort his office describes as a unit focused on combating the smuggling of people and drugs into the state of Texas. Operation Lone Star, we need to pray for them, specifically by name. When we pray for people, for organizations by name, I believe it has a stronger impact. Abbott also instructed the state's Department of Public Safety and military department to line the border with steel shipping containers and barbed wire as part of its supplementary Operation Steel Curtain. Very interesting. Replacing the border the wall with a curtain. Steel curtain. We continuously monitor.
Okay. Any comments? Anybody heard anything about that?
No, I have not, but they going to the extreme with it, right?
Yeah, that guy, the Governor Abbott, there's something going on with him. And then there's something going on with Texas. It's tied to that January 6th thing and that QAnon and all that Trump brought on the scene. Yeah, and so
But they can leave the floodgates open for the Mexicans to run through.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
So we was watching the other day how they trying to Texas trying to succeed from the United States. They call it Texas. It's like they had Brexit. You got Texas. So yeah, it's something going on with that. Oh yeah. And it's another thing about that too is, we went over that probably a year or so ago about the electric grid, because it's also lingering in the background too about a blackout, a nationwide blackout. But Texas got their own grid, and that ain't no coincidence. Texas got its own grid separate from the rest of the country. Just thought y'all know that. Okay. So I'm gonna play this right here in case nobody have no comments on that. I'm gonna play this, and we're gonna just go into our Q&A after that. I thought this right here was pretty interesting, so let's see it. I'll play some of it and we'll talk about it.
So first of all, we give all praises to the great I Am. So the title of this topic is Short Lesson. The true awakening will come by way of persecution, but we're not ready for that either. But before we jump into this, one house note that I must address. So some of you have been asking about the 2022 calendar. Don't worry, we're working on it. We will push that out sometime towards the end of January or around the first or second week of March. So just be patient with us. We will push that out. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the word. So go ahead and turn to Revelation chapter 6. Now, just so you know, I'll be reading from the Sefer. If you don't have a Sefer, it's all good. Hey, just use whatever translation you got. If you got the proper, that's fine too. So Revelation chapter 6, And let's look at verse 11. And it says, and white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also as their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So one thing is clear here in this text is that the fact that our fellow servants that was killed before us, this thing will be repeated. Now, when that will be, we don't know. This is why I named this title the way I did, because the true awakening will come by way of persecution. And look here, brethren, we need to take this seriously, because our people, we're so caught up in just deliverance. We're so caught up in a feel-good message. See, we don't want to hear the truth. We want smooth things. All we want to hear is redemption, redemption, redemption. And be sure to make a donation to the Cash App and PayPal. Oh, by the way, make sure you leave your credit card number. And you see, that's the norm of our people. Don't want to hear the truth. All you want to hear is deliverance, but you don't want to be obedient to the Most High. You don't want to keep His laws. You hate His laws. And look, brethren, I can care less who unsubscribes to my channel. I can care less about that. I don't care about money. You think I'm doing this for money? You think I'm doing this for charity? You think I'm doing this for attention? Then you got another thing coming if you think so. Now let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 10, because I'm going to show you how you all are, which I like, which I love to hear. Isaiah chapter 30, starting at verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Y'all hear that? Prophesy deceits. That's crazy. See, that's what y'all like to hear. Y'all love to hear smooth stuff. Y'all like to hear a feel good. Come on, see, Israel, make me feel good. Make me feel like I'm about to be delivered. The word is clear concerning this persecution. We are going to go through it. Probably the next generation or maybe the generation after. But I'm telling you, brethren, we have to start preparing the next generation. We have to get ready to pass this baton to the next generation. We got to get ready to.
Yeah, so I was talking to somebody earlier, and we was talking about how, you got so many people, so-called awakened people, looking for some kind of tribulation to come when we at the end of the tribulation, and they so far off with that till, it's pathetic, because we're gonna, after all the hell we've been through, it's something simple. All you have to do is think about it. After all the hell we've been through the last 400 years, we're gonna leave that and go into another persecution. And it don't make any sense. And that's the reason I'm playing this, because of this was so many people off here not understanding that we at right at the door of leaving this place and being delivered, but they thinking that like he just said, the next generation. We the generation. We the generation. We that generation that the Most High was talking about, though. That generation that Enoch was talking about, the 70th generation, and the children of the light, all that. That's us. We right on top of that. But because they refuse to let go of the New Testament and those concepts and ideologies that's in the New Testament, their perspective is off. Yeah.
Still waiting on Jacob's trouble.
Right. Exactly. They can't, you can't see how far they are. And like this guy right here, he ain't trying to hear nothing. You start breaking down scriptures to him and showing him, he ain't trying to hear it. Yeah. So I'm gonna let a little more play, and then we're gonna
build this next generation up.
We're going to some.
See, the problem with our people is we can't even see 5 feet in front of us. And this is why we're never left with anything, because our forefathers before us, they sold out everything. We don't have no land, no property, no resources. And the only thing we keep inheriting are curses. Because our people are so worried about deliverance that they forgot what the Most High told them to do. Occupy until I come. Look, faith without works is dead. And you're expecting to be delivered. You're expecting some man to come down and deliver you when we have the tools and means to come together and start building up these next generations. We refuse to do it because we want to hear smooth things. Y'all gonna learn yet. Y'all gonna learn one day. So let's go to Revelation chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. And this is what it says. And I saw thrones. And they sat upon them. And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Mashiach. And for the word of Yahuwah. And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. Now let me go back where it says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. Now let me ask y'all something. Since y'all so stuck on deliverance and don't want to obey the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes. Now you name me anyone in the U.S. of A, any brothers, Israelite brothers or sisters that are currently having their heads chopped off for keeping the commandments or keeping the laws. Exactly. That is my point. You're not going to see it because look, you brethren, you headships with your family members. You're free to go get in your car, go wherever you want to go.
Yeah. With that being said about the head being chopped off, I talked about it. I'll get the information, bring it back up again though. But that's the significance of the transatlantic slave trade, because that's what the Arabs was doing. Those Arabs, when they was going into the interior of Africa, and over in Morocco and all that area where we was at, and they was bringing us on that long journey across Africa and bring us to shoreline to load us on those boats. They was chopping it because those Arabs have a disdain for Israelites, and they was chopping their heads off, beheading, all along that route. As they traveled, you found bodies with decapitated heads. Like I was saying before, all that stuff that happened already, and they done tricked us off and got us thinking that, it's getting ready to come, when it's all it didn't already happen. Our deliverance, we at the point where it's our time for our deliverance. Any comments on that before we go into something else?
Yes, that's another way for them to hide history and hide that truth, just like they tried to do with critical race theory. They want to keep that hidden. And by telling you that Jacob trouble is to come and that it has not already been here, it's the same thing as the critical race theory that they want to hide.
Right, exactly. Because the kids ain't going for it because they're a lot of them ain't even really aware of it to the extent that what really happened, how significant it was, and so they want to keep that hid because there's no place for it now, and you see how inhumane the whole thing was.
Right.
So they don't want that coming out. It also shine a light on them.
Exactly. Hey, then I do have another question about what he said. When he first came on, he mentioned he's going to bring forth the Enoch calendar in January or something to that effect. Right. How can he rightly create a calendar when it's we can't determine when the new year is until that season is upon us?
Right. Yeah, they go back.
So how can he? Yeah, how can he forecast those days accurately? I guess that's one.
He can't. Yeah, it can't because I mean,
Okay.
you know, it's yeah, it's you know, it's that's I mean, when you look at that, that's virtually impossible because first of all, that what they did with the, you know, how they went from AD to BC, that ain't that's whacked out because they ain't how the most like they ain't how the most like keep time.
Right.
We kept time by jubilees, and so we that's impossible. I mean, you know, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was odd when he said that. That was like,
right,
how can you do that?
yeah. So yeah, so with that being said, if nobody else have no comments on that, we're gonna open it up for some Q&A. Anybody have any questions or comments about anything they've been dealing with, and you take it from there. Nobody have any questions or comments about anything they dealt with?
I have a question. In First Chronicles 13:7,
Okay,
when Uzzah touched the Ark of the Covenant, and
okay,
the Lord of Hosts was angered and he killed him. Uh, so Uzzah was a son of Merari, and the sons of Levi. Each son of Levi had a particular role and responsibility. The Gershonites were responsible for pitching the tent for covering the tabernacle.
right,
The Kohites was responsible for the ark itself and the temple furniture, and the sons of Merari, they was responsible for pulling the columns and pillars down in order to cover it. So I
right,
guess my question is, and being that Uzzah was a descendant of Merari, and when in 13:7, he was killed because he touched the Ark of the Covenant because the ark stumbled and the ark was about to fall off. My question is, why wasn't the Kohites driving the cart instead of uh, Uzzah and a how you pronounce his name? Ohio,
right.
because it would seem like the Kohites who are responsible for the ark should have been driving that car. It seemed like something missing. Part of this story is missing to me.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
it takes place in First Chronicles 13:7.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. Says in 7 says, and they carried the ark of God in a new court out of the house of Benadad, and Uzi and Ohad drove the cart, and David and all Israel played before God with all their might, and with singing, and with harps, and with pastries, and with chandries, and cymbals, and okay, at 9. And when they came unto the threshing floor of the Chidon, Uzi put forth his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzi, and he smote him, because he put his hand to the ark, and there he died before God.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so you saw where you saw the because I think we can get a better understanding of what's going on there.
Okay. So if we
Well,
go to Numbers, if we go to
then,
Numbers and if we go to Numbers 3rd chapter, it gives the roles of each of Levi's sons and what they
okay,
were responsible for.
what'd you say that was it?
Numbers chapter 3.
Okay,
Uh, I think it starts around the 21st verse 21.
okay, Numbers chapter 3, 21. Say Goshen was the family of the Gideonites, and the family of the Shemites. These are the families of the Gershonites, those that were numbered of them according to the number of all the males. Is that the right place?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep going. Yes.
there was a number of them according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward. Even those that were numbered of them were 7,500. And the families of the Gershonites shall pitch behind the tabernacle westward. And the chief of the house of the father of the Gershonites shall be Elisha, son of Baal. And the charge of the sons of the Gershonites in the tabernacle of the congregation shall be the tabernacle and the tent, and the covering thereof, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle and the congregation, and the hangings of the court, and the curtains for the door of the court, which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and the cords of it are for all the service thereof. And the Kohath was the family of the Amorites, Amorites, and the family of the Izaharites, I can't say their name, and the family of the Hebronites, and the family of the Uzzites. These are the families of the Kohanites, in the number of all the males from a month old and upward were 8,600, keeping the charge of the sanctuary. The families of the sons of Kohath shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle on the south side, southward. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Kohath shall be Elazaphan, the son of Uzziel, and their charge shall be the ark, the table, the candlestick, and the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary wherewith they minister, and the hangings, and all the service thereof. And Elijah, the son of Aaron, the priest, shall be over the chief of the Levites, and have the oversight over them that keep the charge of the sanctuary. Of Merari was the family of the Mahalites, and the family of the Mushites. These are the families of Merari, and those that were numbered of them according to the number of all the males for a month old and upward was 6,200. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle northward, and under the custody and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillows thereof, and the sockets thereof, and all the vessels thereof, and all that service thereof, and the pillows of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, with those that encamp before the tabernacle toward the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation eastward, shall be Moses and Aaron and his sons, keeping the charge of the sanctuary for charge of the children of Israel, and the strangers that cometh nigh shall be put to death. All that were numbered of the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered as the commandment of the Lord throughout their families, all males from a month old and upward were 20 and 2,000. Okay. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead.
No, I was trying to figure out where did Uzi come from.
Okay, so if you go to First Chronicles 6:29, well, what that was explaining what each of the sons of Levi was responsible for, and the sons of and Numbers 3:17, and these were the sons of Levi by their names: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Okay,
Right.
so we know that those are the sons. Now, to know where Uzi came from, go to First Chronicles 6:29.
Okay. Second, some Raya might. Okay. sons of Moriah, and Libna, Shema, his son, Uzi, his son, Shema, his son. Okay, yeah.
So Uzi is a descendant of Merari. And as we read, Merari is responsible for the foundation, basically, of the tabernacle. You
Right.
know. So my question I'm asking is, so why was Uzi and Ohio driving the cart if the Kohaths was responsible for the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah,
for the
well,
carrying of the Ark?
if you first of all, you know that was David. Uzi was David's best friend.
I understand. Yes, sir.
So, so look at, and David associated with singing, right? David can sing and
Right.
all that. Look at 31, chapter 6, verse 31. And these are they whom David, see that? David set over the service of the song in the house of the Lord. After that, the ark had rest. So David set him over. David put him over. You see that?
Okay.
These are they whom David set.
But surely David knew what each family of Levi was responsible for.
Yeah, that's probably why he got killed. So, and then you notice, did you ever find out where the other guy came from?
No, I couldn't find his name anywhere else other than in that.
Right, cause right here it says 31, and these are they whom David set over the service of the song in the house of God. We know David got all the psalms, and so David connected to Uzi by way of singing and all that, and musical instruments and stuff.
Right.
So so it looks as if we go back to where we was at, where that was at, 13.
Yeah, 13 and 7. 7 through 9, yes.
So it says, I'm gonna start at 1. And David consulted with the captains of the thousands and hundreds, and with every leader. And David said unto all the congregation of Israel, if it seem good unto you, and that it be of the Lord of our God, let us send abroad unto our brethren everywhere that are left in all the land of Israel, and with them also to the priests and the Levites, which are in their cities and their suburbs, that they may gather themselves unto us, and let us bring again the ark of God to us. For we inquire not at it in the days of Saul. And all the congregation said that they would do so. So the thing was right in the eyes of all the people. And David gathered all Israel together from Shihar of Egypt, even unto the entering of Hemath, to bring the ark of God from Karath Jearim. And David went up, and all Israel, and Baalah, that is to Karath Jearim, which is beyond, which belonged to Judah, to bring up thence the ark of God the Lord that dwelleth between the cherubims, whose name is called on it. And they carried the ark of God in a new cart out of the house of Obadiah, whatever it is, and Uzi and Ohad drove the cart. So David must have gave him charge or gave him commandment to drive the cart. It says, and David and all Israel played. See that? They dealing with instruments. That's what Uzi deal with. That's what all them dealing with. They over song and music. And David and all Israel played before God with all their might, and with singing, and with harps, and with pastries, and with timbrels, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. And when they came into the threshing floor of Cheetah, Uzi put forth his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzi, and he smote him, because he put forth his hand to the ark, and there he died before God. Now, this is the verse I was talking about, 11. And David was displeased, because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzi, wherefore that place is called Perez Uzi to this day. And David was afraid of God that day, saying, how shall I bring the ark of God home to me? See that? So that was David's friend, best friend.
Right.
Right. And so it's almost it seemed like to me, or David appointed him, you know, put him in that position to drive the car.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, but
Because the rest of them, they would have knew not to reach out and touch him. So
it's just with David knowing that the Kohathites was responsible for it, and that if something like that was to happen, where the ark shifted on the cart because of the oxen stumbling or what have you, that he would have known that the Kohathites would have been able to handle the ark, that anyone else
right,
would have to pay a price.
right. Right. So what you get out of that is what I get out of that is that you know, David paid the price. He thought that you know, he's on the assumption that, you know, he was in the same place with the Most High. But he saw that when Uzzah did what he wasn't supposed to do, the Most High killed him automatically.
Right. Okay.
So he told him, and so he, you know, it's like a lesson learned to me. Because he said he moved away from him. He backed up off the Lord of hosts after that. Says
Okay.
13. So David brought not the ark home to himself, to the city of David, but carried it aside into the house of Obed the Gittite. And the ark of God remained with the family of Obed Edom in his house 3 months. The Lord blessed the house of Obed and all that he had.
Yeah. Yeah, this story have always interested me. I always try to gain understanding on why the Lord of Hosts was so great against Uzzah for what seemed like is a honorable act, because he's trying to keep it from hitting the ground,
Right,
but he was out of his responsibilities.
right, exactly.
So, but yeah, so I just will try to gain deeper understanding on this, on why these events took place as they did.
Yeah, it pick up again. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, later on. But look at 15. First Chronicles at 15.
Okay.
Same thing starting again. Now see this right here. It had been sitting wherever it was at when he got Uzi in the movie, and then when Uzi got killed, David took it to what's name house for about 3 or 4 months. Now he picking back up. Same situation again. 15. David brings the ark to Jerusalem. Says, and David made him houses in the city of David and prepared a place for the ark of God and pitched for it a tent. Then David said, none ought to carry the ark. See that he learned. None ought not carry the ark of God but the Levites. See that he learned. It says, for them have the Lord to minister unto him forever. And David gathered all Israel together to Jerusalem to bring up the ark of the Lord unto his place which he had prepared for it. And David assembled the children of Aaron and the Levites. Then look at this right here. 5 of the sons of Kik. There we go. See, now he got the core, whatever you call them. Now he got them. Uriel, the chief, and his brother 100, and the sons of Merah. So he got people where they supposed to be at now.
Okay. So he just wasn't following the order; he was following his heart.
Right. Then he was his friend. That was his boy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, after his heart, because Uzzah was his friend.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we see right here in 15, he got it right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything?
That was good. That was good. I got in on it. I learned a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna play this right here so see what get any comments out of it.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm about to share with you all a very, very deep clip. This is a clip where a white man Hey, y'all, a white man, not me, but a white man is calling his own people soulless. I like it when people of a particular race can tell the truth about their race without feeling like they're doing a disservice to their race. See, that's how it's supposed to be. This is why, if I see things that are happening in the so-called black community that are heinous, wicked things, this is why I'm able to speak on those things and don't feel like this is an attack on my race for simply telling the truth about what's going on.
Wait, before you scroll away,
Okay,
you need to
hold
hear
on.
this. Republicans across the country
To run across clips like this, or they're shared with me, I like to hear people who are able to own up to what is true. You see, because just like in the so-called black race, every person is not guilty of the same thing. So, likewise, in other races, the same thing. Everyone is not guilty of the same thing. Some people are not soulless, okay? This is why I ask, is it true for some? But anyway, I'm going to share with you all this clip where he's basically just calling it out for what it is. He's not trying to pretend at all. He's like, this is what it is. This is what we have done. This is what he's saying his people have done since the beginning of the establishment of this country. And I would even venture to say well before that as well, because it's documented in history how things have been. Look at the continent of Africa, how they sliced and diced it, and they had no regard for the people. They likened the people of the continent of Africa to be little children who are to be ignored, that they are a non-issue. That's how they felt. And you have to be soulless to totally disregard large groups and segments of the population because you believe yourself to be better than they are. Anyway, take a listen and a look at this clip, and I will be right back.
Okay, bear with me here. White supremacy has taught us to steal your souls. Now, I don't mean soul in the ethereal or the worldly sense, but in the sense of an innate connection to our own human spirit. That is a connection between the mind and body that white culture alienated white people from in order to give us the power to dehumanize people of color in the way that we have. Because we lack that incredibly meaningful connection with ourselves, we steal and appropriate that from other cultures around the world. We love these expressions of soul and spirit, but hate that we can't do it and resentment for it. We love to have it, but hate when we have it.
Okay, did the man lie? Did he lie? If something is the truth, just accept it for what it is. Just make sure you're not one of the people who are guilty of what is being spoken of. Why do people feel the need to defend, not defend, but go against the truth because it makes their group look bad? If something is true, it is what it is. The truth is what it is, right? It is what it is. You cannot deny it. This man basically laid it all out there. He said, look, he's talking about them, they lack a specific thing or specific quality, spirituality or whatever. They want to take it from others. And this is something he said they've gone all over the world and have done because they see this thing present in others. And so if you really pay attention, you open your eyes, you look at the media, you look at music, you look at television, commercials, advertisements, you look at all of this stuff. And all of it seems to be geared towards the elevation of one group over the other, or the destruction of one group over the other. You say to yourself, how can this stuff contribute to the destruction? Okay, think about this for a minute. A strong black family is a wonderful thing to behold, but they've blurred the color lines to make it seem as though a strong black family is not necessary. And so there is a diminishing of the strong black family, and it's being replaced by families that are blended, right? Right? But they continue to push the narrative of the strong white family. Listen, pay attention. The narrative of the strong Caucasian family is constantly just put in everyone's eyes to see and everyone's ears to hear. The strong, white, successful family. But when it comes to so-called black people, there is a strong push for the blended family or the mixture of a family and not the solid, strong black family. So they are maintaining what they believe to be their duty of having a strong white family, while at the same time promoting and pushing the black family to basically white itself out and blend itself out of existence. And even making the black family seem like it is an interruption to any type of success you can ever have. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to say this again, there is that element of we have to continue to promote the success of a white family. Now,
okay. Any comments on that? Yeah, I was saying how that you know, that's one of those topics that, you know, people are afraid to go there and deal with, but we see in the book of Jubilees how the Most High kept telling Israel all through the book of Jubilees, don't deal with the Gentiles, and how they you know, it's something wrong with them, and that don't intermingle with them, and don't allow your sons to marry their daughters, don't allow your daughters to marry their sons. And then, you know, like I say, that's because of the New Testament, you know, that's like a no. Nobody goes there, deal with that, you know. And like I said before, I keep on telling you that, you know, Japhet is not Noah's son. They wrote all that in there. That's the reason we think the way we think, but we see through their actions, even the way their DNA, their appearance, ain't no way they brothers and sisters, they kin folks. We got total different origin. Yeah. So anybody got any comments on that? So I'm gonna read. I mean, if nobody have any comments, I'm gonna read out of Jubilees. Kind of kill 2-3 birds with one stone. I was telling you about how what Rebecca was going through and how she inquired of you know, they don't want you to know that, but she inquired of Abraham what was going on with her stomach, why her pregnancy was, you know, why she was having so much trouble with her pregnancy and with her stomach. And so here we go right here. I'm gonna read what Abraham said, and not on that, Abraham instructed his children and his grandchildren. So it says, Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. So that Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau. So that with his eyes, he saw it. Like we see what these folks have done. So it says, Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that Jacob should his name be seed, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called Rebekah and gave commandments regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said unto her, my daughter, watch over my son Jacob, and for he shall be in my stead on the earth, and for a blessing in the midst of the children of men. So we got a correct definition of call right here. 15 says, Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, how wicked Esau was, and he knew that Jacob shall his name and seed be called. So what is he talking about? Let's look at that. I'm in Genesis chapter 5. And it says, this is why he's saying what he's saying right here. It says, chapter 5 of Genesis. This also let you know Cain ain't none of Adam's son. and which is became descendants eventually became Japhet. It says, "This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man in the likeness, God made he him. Male and female created he them, blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day that when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness after his image and called." See that? So watch this. So he said, called his name self. So Abraham's seed from this point on gonna be called through self, right? Not four. In the days of Adam after he had begot self. See, self is the one that called his seed gonna be called what 800 years, and he begot other sons and daughters. So he got other sons and daughters, but the Abraham seed is called through self. So let's go back over here to Jubilees. And what this is what Abraham says. I'm in 114, chapter 14, the Jubilees. It says, and Abraham loved, okay, it says, Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob, see that, shall the name and seed be called. And he called Rebekah and gave commandments regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said unto her, my daughter, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall be in my stead on the earth, not Isaac, and for a blessing in the midst of the children of men, and the glory of the whole seed of Shem. For I know that the Lord will choose him to be a people for a possession unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And behold, Isaac, my son, loveth Esau more than Jacob. But I see that thou truly lovest Jacob, and still further to thy kindness to him, and let thine eyes be upon him in love, for he will be a blessing unto us on the earth from henceforth unto all generations of the earth. And let thy hands be strong, and let thy heart rejoice in thy son Jacob, for I have loved him far beyond all my sons. He will be blessed forever, and his seed will fill the whole earth. If a man can number the sands of the earth, his seed also will be numbered. And all the blessings wherewith the Lord hath blessed me, and my seed shall belong to Jacob, and his seed always. And in his seed shall my name be blessed, and the name of my father Shem, and Noah, and Enoch, and Mahalalel, and Enos, and Seth, and Adam. See, we went all the way back to Adam, right? So then it says, and these shall serve to lay the foundation of the heavens and the strength of the earth, and renew all the luminaries which are in the firmament. And he called Jacob before the eyes of Rebekah his mother, and kissed him, and blessed him, and said, Jacob, my beloved son, whom my soul loveth, may God bless thee from above the firmaments, and may he give thee all the blessings wherewith he blessed Adam, and Enoch, and Noah, and Shem, and all the things of which he told me, and all the things in which he promised to give me, may he cause to cleave to thee and thy seed forever, according to the days of heaven above the earth. And the spirit of language shall not rule over thee or over thy seed, turn thee from the Lord, who is thy God, from henceforth and forever. And may the Lord God be a father to thee and thy firstborn son, and to the people always. Go in peace, my son. And they both went forth together from Abraham, and Rebekah loved Jacob with all her heart and with all her soul, very much more than Esau. But Isaac loved Esau much more than Jacob. So now we see right here, this is the missing link right here. So he instructed that Rebekah. He told her what to do when the time came. And when the time came, she caused Jacob to get the blessing. But she received all that from Abraham, and Abraham received it in a vision. So I read a lot to you out of 2 Samuel, David's last words, right? I mean, I want to know what David's last words were, what he's talking about. What this is Abraham's last word to his children and his grandchildren. And in the 42nd Jubilee, in the first year of the 7th week, Abraham called Ishmael and his 12 sons, and Isaac and his 2 sons, and 6 sons of Kirkuk and their sons, and he commanded them that they should observe the way of the Lord, and that they should work righteousness, and love each his neighbor, and act on this manner amongst all men, that they should each so walk with regard to them as to do judgment and righteousness on earth, and that they should circumcise their sons according to the covenant which he had made with them, and not deviate to the right hand or to the left of all the paths which the Lord had commanded us, and that we should keep ourselves from all fornication and uncleanness, and renounce from among us all fornication and uncleanness. And if any woman or maid commit fornication among you, burn her with fire, and let them not commit fornication with her after their eyes and their heart, and let them not take to themselves wives from the daughters of Canaan. See that? Watch this. And for the seed of Canaan will be rooted out of the land. And he told them of the judgment of the giants, and the judgment of the Sodomites, how they had been judged on account of their wickedness, and had died on account of their fornication and uncleanness, and a mutual corruption through fornication, right? So he says, these Amorites. So he says, and guard yourselves from all fornication and uncleanness, and from all pollution of sin, and let ye make our name a curse, and your whole life a hissing, and all your sons be destroyed by the sword, and ye become a curse like Sodom, and all your remnant as the sons of Gomorrah. And I implore you, my sons, love the God of heaven, and cleave ye to all his commandments, and walk not after their idols and their uncleanness, and make not for yourselves molten or graven gods, for they are vanity. There is no spirit in them, for they are works of man's hands. And all who trust in them trust in nothing. Serve them not, nor worship them, but serve ye the Most High God, and worship him continuously, and hope for his countenance always, and work uprightness and righteousness before him, that he may have pleasure in you, and grant you his mercy, and send rain upon you morning and evening, and bless all your works which ye are wrought upon the earth, and bless the bread and thy water, and bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, and the herds of thy cattle, and the flocks of thy sheep. And ye shall be a blessing on the earth, and all nations of the earth will desire you. Blessed are your sons in my name, that they may be blessed as I am. And he gave to Ishmael and to his sons, and to the sons of the kilts, and sent them away from Isaac, his son, and he gave everything to Isaac, his son. So you see the instructions he gave him right here. Right here, Abraham gave him these instructions, and we're doing just the opposite. Everything we're doing now is opposite. That's how we end up over here. Let me read this right quick. It says, right here, I keep bringing this up. And the herds, say, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, the children, and the fruit of thy land, and the herds of thy cattle, and the flocks of thy sheep. We ain't got a sheep. We ain't got one cattle. We lost all that. And that's because we ain't doing none of this. What he commanded us. We dealing with idols. We got an idol stuck up in our head right now. He says, walk not after their idols and after their uncleanness. And that's just what we're doing. So I'm going to read this other verse one more time. So I don't know if it registered with some people, but I'm in Deuteronomy 28. This is one of the tools that Israelites use to wake other Israelites up. Deuteronomy 28. So I'm in 28, cursive. And then 64, based off what we just read, Abraham's last words, it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee with Moses among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood is sown. Ain't but one person can't get around it. JC. Our fathers ain't know him. And we scattered, we over here. We over here in a land of our captivity, and we serving an idol. He said, you're going to be serving idols. They gods, other gods. You ain't going to be dealing with him. So there it is right there. And that's exactly where we at. Like I said, we ain't got one sheep. We ain't got one cattle. None of that. And we in disarray. It's because of we failed to do what Abraham commanded us, our forefathers to do, and they commanded they failed to do it and command us to do it, and that's why we in the predicament we in. In comment. Yeah.
That cat said he the sacrifice. He the lamb.
Right. Ain't that something?
Yeah, them some strong words, man.
Right, yeah. He kind of low.
Okay. Yeah, them some
Yeah,
strong
kind of
words.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
like I was saying before. You would want to read 2 Samuel 23, David's last words, because there's a lot in there. It's like it's a lot up in this. We ain't doing nothing. We're not doing what Abraham instructed us to do. We ain't doing it. And a lot of the reason is because of this New Testament. It's contrary to what it's contrary to what we do, what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Leonard. We've been disconnected from our history and heritage.
Exactly.
And if you tell us to go get a sheep or a cow and raise it, man, we'll look at you like you crazy.
Right. Exactly.
I go to the store and buy some beef if I want.
Right.
That'd be our reaction, you know.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we drank cow milk.
Right. And the sister had did a great lesson on that weeks past about the cow's milk. Yeah.
Exactly.
Been conscious of that since.
Right. Is there some? Yeah. Okay. So anybody else got anything before we go? Anything they want to talk about before we close out?
I just want to make a little comment on what you read in Deuteronomy.
Right.
28 and 64. Even though a lot of Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, read that passage, right? Mm-hmm. They still worship JC. They are thinking just because they put black on him, it makes it better, but it doesn't.
Right, exactly.
So it's like still a lot of people are not understanding that verse.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's that's what I was saying about it's layers to it, and that's why you have to, you have to go back over it, keep going over it again, because you don't know when the Most High is going to do what He's going to do to that or whoever. You don't know that, so you have to keep going back over it because of, like I said, with the when they start talking about the Black Madonna and child and all that, that's a cut. When the Greeks came on the scene, they took the Horus, Isis, and Sar and made the Madonna and the child. And that's where that come from. And so when you say Jesus Christ was Yahushua was a black man, yeah, it's that black man. Man, it's layers to it, and you have to understand that. If you don't understand that, you're gonna get caught up in the sauce because you're thinking that you arrived at a certain place, but you ain't arrived on. You just fell deeper into the trap. Because you gotta, you gotta uncover that. Is like I said, it's layers, like an onion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sister Michelle makes a great point with the Hebrew Israelites. It's like they read over the verses where it says, "Beside me there is no savior,"
Right.
but they still place a savior beside the Lord of hosts.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. And so, like I was saying, I mean, with that verse I went to last night, when you show somebody that, that Matthew deliberately tried to deceive you. If you could say that, yes, there's some untruths in there, but they don't hurt the story. If he really existed, why you gotta lie and say that some prophet said he existed, then you go and find out that ain't what the prophet said. So you have to, you gotta deal with that. You can't scrub that off because he just told you a bald-faced lie. The prophet ain't said nothing about that. The prophet ain't even alluding to that. He talking about the nation of Israel. He ain't talking about no son went into born in a manger and went into Egypt hiding from Herod. That ain't even what he's talking about. So you have to deal with that. You can't, shrug that off like it ain't, you gotta deal with it because the person is an ancient lie. They go way back. Yeah. Ain't that something?
Yeah, even the going down to Egypt is borrowed.
Right.
That's modeled after Abraham.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once the one, it's layers to it because it's quite naturally it's going to be, because of how long the deception been going on. You're not going to just quickly get rid of him, but after story after story and the evidence start unfolding, you got to do eventually. You got to do something with it because you see that every angle you turn is it's surrounded with lies and deception, to get you to believe it. And then, it'll play it out. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I really. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I really see how wicked that New Testament and that New Testament idol is, man. It's wicked as hell.
Oh yeah, it's wicked, right? And you can't get them to see that. But yeah, that's a whole. That's what a disconnect come in there because it ain't got nothing to do with that. You're trying to make something work, and trying to stick a pig in a round hole. It ain't working. Yeah. Is this something? So everybody good?
All good.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do we got women's line coming up tomorrow. Anybody gonna volunteer to read the Psalms? I'm gonna read it.
I can do the Psalms.
Okay. Yeah. So it will be the Women's Advanced Bible Study session tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna say shalom, everybody. I'll see the women tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
All
Shalom.
right. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Okay.
Shalom.